It looks like any other normal car on the road, but there is one critical difference. So Jim, it's driving itself now.
It is indeed, yes, that's right. The car's in full control.
Just like humans, robotic cars need to practice driving too. And here's how they take their lessons. Well, this car has been driving itself around Milton Keynes for the last 3 weeks, and it's practicing traffic lights and roundabouts, very appropriate for Milton Keynes, because although they are quite easy for humans to navigate, they're much harder for computers to get the hang of. These tests come just days after a pedestrian was killed in America by a self-driving Uber car. That vehicle also had a safety driver. So Jim, safety is obviously a massive issue for people, particularly at the moment. How safe is this? You're a safety driver, what are you doing?
Okay, so you're absolutely right, safety is paramount. So my role is the same as a normal driver, to be very aware of my surroundings, see what's around, the traffic's around me. I also, I'm looking further ahead than probably the normal driver. I'm also considering vehicles behind us, coming alongside us.
Milton Keynes is home to one of the biggest autonomous car projects in Britain. The long-term promise is less congestion and fewer road deaths.
It's performing the same function as a human driver, but it's not distracted, it's totally vigilant. It has the ability to be vigilant around 360 degrees. Doesn't get distracted, it doesn't want to use its mobile phone, it doesn't want to send texts. So it's, it will be a more safer form of control.
Alles klar zum Crash.
It looks dramatic, but this is how the big insurance companies are preparing for driverless cars, recreating accidents to judge who's responsible. And here's Volvo's effort, a robotic car for workers in Gothenburg. I drove it, or rather didn't drive it, last year. They're going to ask 100 ordinary people to commute in a car, but it's not an ordinary car, it's an autonomous car. And then they're going to tell those people they're actually free to do anything else instead, so perhaps they want to send an email. They've been talking about robot cars for decades, so when might they actually appear in showrooms?
These sort of features are likely to be out within the next sort of 5 to 10 years. In different situations, I think that probably the way the regulations are going, it'll be on motorways first.
So computers need a lot more driving lessons before there's an autonomous car outside your house. Richard Westcott, BBC News, Milton Keynes.
Newmarket at first light. No special treatment, not even the stable's superstar gets a lion. With £1 million at stake in Saturday's race alone, his trainer can hardly take his eyes off him. He's hoping his prized asset can strike gold on British Champions Day.
Full of excitement, but very aware that one wrong step, one bug, one cough, one something can shatter those dreams. Till he jumps out of the stalls on Saturday, he'll be nervous that something can go wrong.
I guess Galileo Gold has proven, though, that he's a man for the big occasion.
Yeah, he's performed on the big stage, hasn't he? And he's an Ascot winner. He won't have pre-match nerves, luckily, because to him it's just a race.
The 3-year-old is one of the stars of the season and one of the favourites for the Queen Elizabeth II Stakes. Success at Royal Ascot followed their victory in the 2000 Guineas at Newmarket.
Frankie Dettori won the Guineas and a first classic for Hugo Palmer.
Those long nights and short days in the winter, you're looking at your horses and dreaming, God, I hope that can win the Guineas, I hope that can do that. And normally it doesn't happen, so when it does, it's incredibly exciting.
In just 4 years, as Hugo's reputation has grown, so has his racing operation. From just 11 horses in training, he now has 140. Many of the best horses in Europe will be at Ascot on Britain's richest race day.
It's an opportunity for the public to see them right at the end of the season, perhaps before they go away to stud, or perhaps they're sold for broodmare prospects. So it's a sort of real culmination of the best of the best.
One of the great things about flat racing is that it doesn't necessarily need a cup final. You have a cup final every couple of weeks and the season moves on. And one of the faults about flat racing in the past is that after the St Leger meeting, you had about 8 or 10 weeks where it just sort of fizzled out into nothing. British Champions Day has produced a focal point for the end of the season.
A £4.2 million total purse certainly focuses the mind, but for the horses and trainers, it's about the prestige, not just the prize money. Tom Williams, BBC Look East.
There's something about when we film horses on the gallops, they're always
especially on a
beautiful.
misty morning like this. It was just lovely, wasn't it?
Stunning shots.
Beautiful
It was Grant
shots.
Norman, wasn't it, our cameraman, who got
Yes.
those?
Well done to Grant.